it's like, it's all his timing, and, it's going to happen when it happens. It's like, you can't rush art, so it's like, I think you should have a general idea of it. You should have a plan, but what I always try to do is I tried to like make Noah's world happen, you know, and whenever I realized that, I was like, there's a lot more power at play here. And my plans may seem really cool, but they're not that cool, I guess, because they're not happening.
Well, again, I mean, you can have all the plans and everything working out for you. If it's not in his timing, it's not.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah. So what else, dude? Like, why the switch to, obviously you said side gig for the SaaS, is a Squatch?
Squatch garage door repair.
Squatch. Yeah. Not Sasquatch.
I've always been called Sasquatch. Right?
Obviously.
Tattoo on my arm, but
friggin' monster.
But no, I wanted to work with my hands again. Doing real estate's great, but making 1,000 calls a week just, gets old. The mundane, going in, just calling people that really don't want to talk to you every day. I was like, man, I got to get some steady income. We also at the church, we went over what it means to be biblical man, and that's providing financial stability and everything. And having a closing, I've been fortunate enough to have a closing every like 2 to 3 months. But when you get that lump sum and it just dwindles away, it just doesn't feel right. So looking for a side income, and there was doing a lot of research, but there was one point where I got on ChatGPT. I was like, what is the laziest blue collar job I could make money at, but not get my hands super dirty? Like, I wanted to be able to wear hey dudes there and like not get greasy. So, and garage doors kept popping up.
Really?
I've helped, back in Washington, a few people with them. Yeah. And I was like, garage doors go up and down. Let's figure this out. And then,
just like you in the bedroom, huh?
Yeah. Actually, we won't even get to that. But,
a favorite joke ever after a wedding from a best man speech was, may all your ups and downs in life be in the bedroom.
Oh, jeez, that's great. I actually had a conversation with a buddy last week. He's like, you ever worn your Whoop while you did that? And I was like, no, but I might have to. See how many calories
you see the Apple Watch thinking where people, they'll wear their Apple Watch and then they'll hit wrestling when they're done, geez. And they share with all their friends. No, I haven't seen that.
No, but anyway. Weird. I don't even know what I was talking about.
Garage doors, lazy blue collar, good money.
So it kept popping up.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let's look into this. Found a kid on, I think it's actually called the Garage Door Kid on Instagram. He sells a Discord page or whatever. So bought it for a month, got in there, watched his videos, learned, and I was like, dude, this is too easy not to try. Yeah. So we just tried it before I had anything branded and whatnot. I had so many jobs lined up. I was like, okay, we've got to take advantage of this. I'm not going to let this slow down. So, just started and it hasn't stopped. It's been amazing.
Yeah, dude, that's so cool. Yeah, service-based businesses are like slept on, bro.
Yeah,
because the market needs it. There's always demand, and people are just looking for quality work.
Yeah,
you provide that, you're going to make a killing.
Yeah. Have you ever read or listened to Home Service Millionaire?
No, never heard that one.
So it's the I forget his name, but he's the CEO of A1 Garage Doors.
Okay,
and he wrote this book, and it's incredible. If anybody has a home service business, you got to read that book.
What's the book called again? Did we pull that up?
Home Service Millionaire.
Home Service Millionaire?
Yeah, it's got
and he's just basically talking about how to start a home service.
Yeah. I mean, it's specific for garage doors because that's what he came up in. So he's talking about his past and how he did it. But it gives you a blue book and or a blueprint on how to do any kind of home service business. It's
gotcha. Amazing. So it's like, obviously designed around garage doors, but like you could obviously apply that to a plumber's business.
100%.
It's the exact same thing. So that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, what websites to take advantage of? I mean, you guys know where to market yourself.
Okay. Yeah. This guy right here, Tommy Mello.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah. I have to check that out. That's pretty good. Cause that's what's popping up right now. It's like service-based business. Like I think the several people they've had on the podcast at this point, like, I mean, most of them are in service-based businesses, car detailing, whatever, or pest control, stuff like that. And it's like we were saying, like the demand is there. I mean, there's millions of people that live in your metropolitan area. Yeah. And even if you live out in the boonies, bro, like you and I know this, living out in the, BFE of Washington, it's like you could, like those construction guys were the kingpins, bro, like those guys ran the town.
Dude, it's like I thought I was it when I worked construction. It was prevailing wage. I went and bought a truck. I was making like $40 an hour, and then they just laid me off. Like I showed up.
Were you union?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Showed up, and then I was gone 2 hours later. Like, hey, don't come back tomorrow.
That's how unions work, man. So,
yeah.
Yeah. People always were so afraid of the unions in the construction world because they're like, oh, private's way better. But honestly, it's the prevailing wages. And it's like, if you're an asset to the company, like they have to keep you, you know, like you could probably look back and be like, I probably wasn't the best employee. You know?
I was just a laborer anyway. I was supposed to only be there the summer, but they cut it like 3 weeks earlier, so.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. So, but if you can get in good and you start the journeyman program, like you crush. So, and then like what we're talking about here is like, because like what most of our audience are thinking right now that we're watching this is like, man, I would love to start a business or, you know, I got the skill set, I've learned whatever it is, especially service-based businesses. And it's like, if you're a journeyman in the union and you've been doing it for 20, 30 years and you have the skill set to do that specific trade, guarantee you probably know the other trades as well. Like, especially if you've been around the job site, you see everything going down, you know? And the next step is to just start it yourself, you know, like you're free the weekends, you can go pick up jobs that way. Like there's always stuff like you talked about referral market's massive. You know, I've seen your video where like you're like working on the garage door and the neighbor comes up and he's like, hey, you fix garage doors? You're like, no, I fix elephants. But you know, like, I'm fixing garage doors, you know, he's like, oh, you should come check out mine, you know? So it's like, it's a high demand market, you know, so.
And that's crazy. That video is like the only one that's popped off so far. I get like a couple thousand views or whatever. That one's at like 108,000.
Yeah, I saw that. It was huge.
And I keep asking people, what was it about that one? They're like, oh, it's kind of funny. And I was like, I don't see it, but hey, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Hey, any publicity is good publicity, my guy. So
for sure.
Yeah, no, that was the very first video I watched from your account. So that was solid. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
No, you were saying like, service-based businesses and whatnot. Like, do you think college is dead?
I think what college was always designed to do was to give people higher education. Yeah. And the higher education was only accessible through an academy, educational system, which was very, very factual back in the day, you know, 30, 40 years ago. It's like, you couldn't just roll up to ChatGPT and say, yo, teach me quantum physics, you know, like, we could then. And it's like, if you were going to go be a scientist that requires the knowledge of quantum physics, like you have to have that. But when it comes to trade work, that's a totally different animal. Like, I think that needs to be maximized more than it's ever been because there's a massive shortage right now. And if you look at the AI race, it's like we're, you know, forever away from a AI bot rolling up to fix a garage. Like that's not going to happen in our lifetime, you know, like maybe our kids, maybe. But I've gotten a lot of debates about it because I'm like, the AI world is going to replace a lot of these white collar jobs. It's not replacing blue collar jobs. Yeah. And there's a massive demand because all the boomers and all the, you know, Gen millennial were really made up a lot of that blue collar because they couldn't, you know, they didn't go to college or whatever. And then they did all these trades. But those guys are retiring. They're dying, you know, they're like starting to get passed on. And all these other generations that were like pretty much forced to go to college. It was you had to go to college. Otherwise you were going to be a failure from society standards, your, you know, alumni standards, the peers around you standards. And there was not a lot of people because I remember going to trade school. I learned all those things and I started a trade at a very young age. And I immediately started making more money than all of my friends were doing by doing construction. And I was like, bro, you guys are missing out. They're like, well, we have to do this. Otherwise we're going to get shamed, you know? So, but I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, for me, it's either, you know, you get your education to be a doctor or a dentist. I want them to be educated. I mean, you're going to work on me, you need to be educated. But other than that, like there is no middle ground in my opinion. I mean, you're either blue collar or you're going to education to spend the next 10 years on paying off student loans, you know, working on trying to afford
10 years
that,
is really quick.
But no, I've got kind of the same story. Like I got out of high school. The only reason I went to college is to be the first Henderson to ever go to college and graduate. That was it. Like,
a lot of people like that.
Yeah. I went there and I got my AAS degree and welding, majored in welding. I've got 5 certs I haven't used in how long? I don't know, but it's a good skill to have. I mean, there's money to be made in welding. I ain't doing it out here in 120 degrees, but I mean, to me, I don't see the point in college. You know, people are just making so much money and like with social media advertising, you know, like the guy I follow on Instagram, he's got so many different videos saying, hey, you can make this in this amount of time. Like, come let me show you how to do it. There's so many of those people out there and whatnot. Like, I don't know.
No, dude, it's true. So what college will never teach you is it will never teach you the combination of sales, marketing, and operations.
100%.
Which those are the three pinnacle pillars that a business stands on.
Yeah.
Because sales, you have to be good about asking people for money. And if you're not good about asking people for money, guess what? You're never going to have anything to operate on.
100%.
And if you don't get really good at marketing your business, you'll never have anybody to ask if you can have their money.
Yeah. And I think that's why, this garage door stuff is popping off. Like, I'm not afraid to ask, that 80-year-old lady, like, hey, I know you've got people you meet with next week, maybe even tomorrow. You want some of my cards? Like, let me call them. Let me talk to them. Yeah. I'm not afraid to ask for that referral. Important. Yeah, it's really important. Yeah, we do the exact same thing. After every podcast we say, so who do you know that should be on the podcast? 100%. Because it's like, we're not afraid to ask. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest barrier for everything, because as employees, you're never trained to ask for anything outside of like, obviously those roles. But like as a blue collar construction worker that's doing garage doors, like you maybe will be incentivized potentially depending on your comp plan to be like, oh, if you upsell the neighbor, like whatever. But like 99% of those dudes are going to be like, or dudettes are going to be like, I'm not going to go knock a door. I already have 4 more jobs lined up. I'm not anticipating wanting to go put more on my schedule. Yeah. When I first started real estate, I was knocking doors, and I had a situation where somebody pulled a weapon on me, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing this no more. But an example, 2 weeks ago, I saw A1 Garage Doors, big company around here. I saw them outside at a neighbor's place. So I walked up and I was like, hey, what's going on here? Like, I gave you my business card or whatever. And he's like, I forgot. And I was like, what do I got to do to get you not to forget? And this is in front of the tech. The tech's just like looking over or whatever. I was like,
I didn't say nothing.
What'd this cost you? And we were just talking about it. So I don't know, man. I got this new confidence. I'm not scared of nothing. I just want to make this happen.
Being 6'5" is probably easy too.
I've always been that teddy bear though. Like anybody could push me over at any moment, but we're getting there.
That's good. That's good. Because if it's those big guys that are scary, that are also like mean, that you're like, how do you live life? Yeah. Like everyone doesn't already like you, but you're also not a likable person. Like how does this combo mix? Yeah. So what drove you to, obviously you said service-based business was kind of the easier model of doing that. But controversially speaking, I'm sure ChatGPT pulled this up multiple times, where service-based business is the hardest business to do. Yeah. And it's going to require the most upfront capital. It's like, you can't just roll up to a garage door with a screwdriver and be like, all right, I'm ready to go. Like, you got to buy equipment. You could scrap your way through it. You could hit up Facebook Marketplace. You could probably grab a few used tools and like you could throw in the back of a sedan. But like, there's comes a point where you're like, bruh, like I gotta get a truck. I gotta get this. I gotta get these things. Like, why did you cross that path coming traditionally from real estate, where you can build your entire real estate company off of a Apple laptop?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to keep it simple, is I needed that consistent money to make myself feel like I was helping my wife. I've been fortunate enough that she's got a really good job and she gives me the opportunity to do real estate, try and get that going, or start my own business. And then right behind that is I wanted to own something myself. As a real estate agent, you can work for yourself, but you're not your own brokerage. You can be. But starting out, you got to be under a brokerage. You're paying all these fees and everything. Yeah. I wanted to own something for myself, and I wanted to do that before I was 30. So we just made it happen. I'll fully admit I've got tools from pawn shops, auction sites. Like, I'm just fortunate enough that I had a mechanics background as well before this. So I've got a lot of tools, but some of the money I've spent on marketing, like t-shirts and whatnot, like I didn't go cheap on the shirts. I got Carhartts for me to wear.
I know, bro. I was going to say, you got that stolen valor almost,
But no, in my situation, I was just fortunate enough to, have tools and, again, the right people that give me the opportunity.
Yeah. So what color are the tools then? That's an important question.
Black and yellow. Yeah. Man, dude. Those are the tools.
If I knew that before, I don't know if I would have sent that invite. No, really? I'm just kidding. I'm a Milwaukee fanboy, dude.
Well, of course I want Milwaukee, but I get the...
Bro, I'm just saying, dude. I was a D-Wall guy when I first got in the trades, and I thought this is the greatest thing ever. Yeah. Because my experience was hand-me-downs and Ryobi and all that type of stuff, but I didn't know any better. Yeah. But our drills would break all the time and like things would burn up, your drills, your drill's not black and red when you start to smell it when it's working. And I switched jobs and went to the seismic world. And bro, I have never seen abuse like I have on this. Like it was part of like its passage was like you have to throw your drills off the lift,
run 40 over feet. With a cat.
Yeah, you gotta do everything abusive to this thing just to test if it works.
Yeah,
and those things would just work. They would never not work. And like I would see the guys tossing in the bottom of a lift. They would be drilling out holes and get like sawdust be falling inside the hole, like the drill, and like they would pick them up after that, start working on it. Like I was like, bro, I'm sold for life. Like this $300, battery is gonna last me forever.
I know, man. I need some pack outs, but every time I see the price, I just walk away.
Yeah, I got a lot of those, man.
No, I've never been a snub on tools. Like if I've got something and it works, I'm going to use it.
Hey,
but again, passed down. I had a ton of Ryobi stuff from my grandfather.
Yeah.
I eventually couldn't buy batteries for him, so just upgraded to DeWalt.
Nice. But hey, at least you chose one of the better options.
Yeah.
So, because if you kept the lineage going with Ryobi, that would have just been bad.
Yeah. See all these people getting sponsored by Ryobi and like, you poor thing.
I know where your loyalties were at.
Yeah. But no, I mean, everything's an investment. So
yeah,
as long as you've got tools that'll last you a while, you should be good.
Yeah. So about those boys that are watching this that are like, hey, I'm in the trades. I've done a trade before, but I want to start my own business. Like maybe not garage door, but let's say they're a plumber or let's say they're an electrician or whatever. Like what advice would you give them that's like, dude, you got to get this, you got to get this down to a science before you go down this path because you're not going to make any money to start. Like it sounds really cool, but for the most part, there's going to be so much more upfront capital that's going into this. And you're going to go do a job and it's not going to be like your day job where you roll up and you work a few hours and you get paid and go home. It's no, you have to buy the $4,000 of material and garage equipment and then you install it and then you get the $10,000 check and you make the $4,000 difference. But what do you say that you need to get in order? Because I think you did it right. Like you didn't care about probably your logo. You didn't spend like there's people we consult all the time that they'll spend weeks just designing a logo. And I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter what the logo is. Like you could have poop on a stick, bro. And like, as long as you do good work, they don't give a damn, Like
as long as you market yourself correctly.
Yeah, you gotta give it out there, you know? Like the logo doesn't matter. You can change that later. But you said it, which is the key to success with a small business, especially local small businesses, is you got to sell the service or product before you have a service or product.
100%.
Because that's what's going to make the money, not these non-revenue generating activities, which is everyone wants to do. They want to build a pretty website. They want to go do all this and design the logo and like get all their marketing branding put together. And it's like, there's so much BS that's involved with that doesn't matter, that you'll never get anywhere with. You have to go out there and you have to actually sell.
Yeah.
So what would you prepare these people for? And they're like, if they got 30 minutes with you and sat down and said, Josh, I want to start a plumbing business, what would you tell them?
So there's one big thing that I would say right up front, and I'm actually working on right now. But going with like the logo stuff really quick, so many people have like free options. For example, my logo, I went on Canva and literally drew something out, put a text box on there saying I want it to say this, and then I copied it to ChatGPT and it gave me like 4 options. And I chose from there. So like my logo is from ChatGPT.
Hell yeah.
But that's great because they won't make like copyright stuff. It's always new. So I mean, it's super simple. People just need to realize what they actually have, with the internet. But the biggest thing that I'm working on personally right now is financing. Because when you get into the trades, whether you know the trade or not, can you sell it to that person? And when you get there, let's say, I mean, of course you want to attract the right people, but you're going to get these people that can't afford what they actually need.
Yeah.
So financing opens a door for them to still get what they need to have their kids be safe and not have their garage door fall on them, or a product, like get their shower replaced that's leaking and causing their floor to collapse or whatever. Like financing is an option for them to, nobody wants to finance, but it's an option for you to have a monthly payment instead of one big lump sum. Because some of these jobs can get expensive. And there's nothing I can do. Like materials are what they are.
Yeah, dude. You roll up to an RV garage, like they're not walking away without paying $20,000. It's
I'm
not
pretty
happening.
close to it. Yeah. Just in material. But no, I mean, that's honestly the biggest piece of advice that somebody gave me, because it just unlocks a whole new world. And A1 garage guy, forgot his name again, but that's one of the things he talks about in the book pretty heavily. It's like, you need to give people options and you need to be open to listening to them and trying to solve their issue.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can listen without having like a reply before they finish, like, you're already going to say this, like actually listen to them and solve their issue. They're going to be a client for life.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say customer because a customer means they're going to buy something from you once, but a client, they're going to, stick with you.
It's just a realtor, bro.
Yeah. And there's super grateful for that background.
That's good, dude. That's good. No, I love that quote. I use that all the time.
The customer one?
Yeah. I heard it first time in sales, software sales. And I kept calling customer with like the account executive I was working with. He's like, stop saying customer. And I was like, why?
Customers go to Safeway.
Right? Yeah. They shop there once.
Yeah.
And then they realize Safeway's $89 for a jug of milk and they're never going back.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, the client is really good. So I like that. Finance is great, man. And I've never seen a better slogan than I saw a landscape company and it said, for just $200 a month, you could have your dream backyard.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I forgot that exists.
Yeah.
You can finance your backyard. That's cool.
I mean, if you want a 1,000-pound wood maple door with windows and whatnot that's insulated, I could do that too, but it's going to cost you $10,000.
Yeah.
So let's finance that puppy. I'll install it. But.
That's cool. So although it is a lot of risk to finance, so would you do finance right out of the gates and like your first client, you let them finance, or how would you go about doing that? Because all these guys are going to have to fork out all this capital in like materials and costs and stuff like that. Yeah. And then you finance people and these people don't pay, or these people cancel, or you install a garage door. Like, would you recommend that in literally the first client? Or would you say like, get this established first before going about doing that?
I mean, I would always say establish a little bit, but financing, if you're going to have finance options, find an institution that does financing upfront. So after you get the quote done and they sign, hey, we're going to get this done, they pay you your money up front. So you don't have to worry about anything. If they're not paying, that's on the institution.
Really?
Find a financer that has that option, which there's not many, but they're out there. The interest rates might be a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, talking to the client on, hey, your interest rate's going to be this or whatever.
Yeah.
But again, it's just an option that you have, puts you a little bit above the rest.
Yeah.
So maybe not right up front. Definitely establish a little bit. But as soon as you can, I would do it. I'm fortunate enough. I do have a little bit of, some equity in investments, and I do have a lump sum of savings that I can kind of count on. And
yeah.
But it's definitely a risky game right up front.
Yeah. I mean, it's business, man.
Yeah. And I mean, like I keep saying, even before, you get financing, just having options. I guess that's what I'm trying to portray.
Yeah.
As many options as you can give people without running yourself rampant.
Yeah. No, I agree, dude. Yeah, that's a great explanation of it, because it's like, you could play the game where you're really, really, really worried about your client, and I think that's the wrong game to play, especially in service-based business, because it's like, again, going back to non-revenue generating activities, it's like, oh, I have to have the perfect client. Like, bro, you don't have clients. It doesn't matter what your client is, because you have nothing to worry about, because you need something to do. You're not doing nothing, So get any client to start getting the ball rolling. And then that's when you start to tailor the clients that you don't want.
Yeah. And that's definitely tough too, because there's some clients that I want to say no to. And I'm like, right now, man, I can't. Like, until I get some employees or something that can do these jobs for me.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, absolutely. So service-based business, scalability is probably the number one most controversial part about it.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot. It takes a lot of risk, especially with, the hiring market. A lot of people don't want to work, all that good stuff. Have you thought about that? Have you planned what that's going to look like? What's the goal there?
100%. When I first started this, I was like, I want to make $100,000, $200,000 a year, give the wife the option to, not work if she doesn't want to. She always will work. That's just her. But just to give her the option. And then I've sat down with a couple guys who have told me, you need to grow up and you need to quit kidding yourself. Like, you're going to have employees. Because what you don't want to service people and keep serving them. You want to service people and hire people that are just as good as you to go out and service them. And you just guide your business and keep marketing and like you said, scaling it. Yeah. So my mind is completely changed from a couple weeks ago. I mean, right now I want to be huge. I want to go nationwide, statewide. Like, I want to get employees as soon as possible. But before I can do that, I've got to, market, get the leads, get that rolling. So we've got enough that I feel like I'm too busy. But for a second guy, I don't know about that. So No, scalability is huge. And I was nervous about it. But again, I've got the right people in my life that have showed me, hey, this is kind of how we started, how many people we've got. You know, they've showed me some numbers and everything. And I've got a guy, Mark, who, like, I said that to him and he's like, dude, I started my business 10 years ago and I've got 18 employees now and I want to hire as many more as I can. I'm like, why is that? So we sat there for a while and talked about it. But scalability, that's going to be huge for me. Yeah, for sure. That's super important.
Yeah, super important. You can really only scale through three things: media, code, and labor.
Yeah. And I don't know code. So I got to keep working and marketing.
Hey, well, at least at the end of the day, it's garage doors. There ain't no code to that. You know, the only code there is that, you know, whatever code the government puts on the garage doors.
And that too, like when I was looking for a business, I was like, which one can I do that everyone has and it's not going to go away either? Like everybody's got a house or, I mean, apartment, but some apartments have garage doors too. So like, there's always going to be garage doors. There's always going to be cars running into garage doors, you know? So
that is true, man. That's true. I remember one time I drove into a roll-up door with a forklift. Nice. I always wondered who would go fix that. Yeah. So, that was up in Washington. So.
Yeah. At your work or?
Yeah. It was during the job. Nice. It was one of those forklifts that had the extended arms. So the forks were like 8 miles away from the actual vehicle itself. So nice. Yeah, it was bad. Right. It was a fun Monday morning.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. Scalability through employees, super tough. But, you know, you brought up a good point. You said, like, it's hard to find somebody that's going to be as good as you. But in reality, your employees will be better than you could ever be.
Yeah.
Because they're going to do that 8 hours a day for weeks on weeks and weeks and months and months and months, where you're so busy doing everything else that you're going to lose the talent of even what you could be good at. And they're just going to be 10 times better than you could run circles. And you'd gladly pay those guys a lot of money.
100% the goal. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
that'd be amazing.
Yeah. No, we're creating a course too about, speaking on the topic of employees, about six figures. Cause what you alluded to probably multiple times is that you have the ability to start a company and to have the capital up front, and definitely came from a high paying background and not from something that you could just do making 20, 30 grand a year. Right. And I think most of the viewers that we have watching this, along with other courses we're creating, the number one question that people are trying to figure out is, if I do start a business, and it doesn't matter what kind of business it is, especially if it's service based, it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
It's going to cost a lot. And we live in an unfortunate world where we could do it on top of our existing jobs and whatnot. But I think if you were to start a traditional business, especially service, you need to have some sort of nest egg like you're talking about. And the only way you're really going to create that in the economy today is by making six figures. And those six figures will open opportunity to you like no other. And two things could happen of that. You could either start making six figures and be like, hey, I guess I'm not that ambitious. This is great. I want to stay here. Or you could be like, this is incredible. I need more. Now I need to take this and invest it into a business. So what are some tips and key tricks for you and your wife and your guys' background to, like, if you had to sit down and say, if this is what you should do if you want to go land a six-figure job? And really, without education, you're really only going to hit that in like three avenues, either sales, you know, some sort of fashion of that, operations, or marketing. So, and I think you have background in one of those three, obviously sales with real estate. And then your wife, I don't know what your wife does actually.
She is I guess you would call her a clinic supervisor, about to be a manager, up at Shea Honor Health. It's a hospital. Okay, she's in charge of doctors and medical
operations,
assistants.
Bro. She's operations.
Yep.
So with that being said, like, our course is centered around that, which is, if you're trying to make six figures, you don't want to go back to college, you don't want to go do the traditional route of certain things. You need to go and, this is actually the course right here is what we're doing, is you need to go through one of those avenues, is find something in operations, find something in marketing, find something in sales. And specifically, the question I have for you is if you're going to go down that path, what do you need to do to be that employee that's an employer is going to be like, you're worth six figures?
You need to have confidence. You need to believe in yourself. That's the biggest thing for me is I've never believed in myself ever until recently. And it's completely changed everything at home, work, whatever. Like, you've got to believe that six figures is doable. You've got to believe that you can wake up every day and not be passive. You got to get up, at least drive somewhere. Like, for example, the gym, there's been multiple times where I wake up and the gym's 3/4 mile away. So I'll usually walk there and walk back. Gets me like 6,000 steps done in the morning. But there's been mornings where I'm like, I really don't feel like walking, but I'm going to walk to the gym, hit my badge in, and walk out. Because I at least went to the gym. You know, it's just building that discipline. And it's been huge. I used to be so passive. And just figuring out ways to get yourself up and to quit petting the dog and leave the house. Like, that's most important, in my opinion. That might not be the most common answer, but I think mindset, working on yourself, being selfish with yourself, and getting that discipline and confidence built up is most important.
Dude, that's huge. Yeah, confidence is massive. I've never met someone that made 6 figures because they fell into it by accident.
Yeah.
They had to have had the confidence to go out and get it.
Yeah.
In one way or another. Even if it's traditional, like through education. It's like you don't just wake up accidentally and say, I'm going to go be a dentist.
Yeah.
You know?
Or one that blows my mind is like streaming.
Yeah.
These guys can make so much money doing this. And some of them, like, I don't know if you know who Queso is, big redhead guy or whatever, but he didn't mean to go big. He was just funny or whatever. So something like that. But he still was confident enough to turn that camera on and start streaming.
Yep.
Like, you've got to. And
he was consistent. He did it every day.
Exactly.
When he had 4 views, he still kept on doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that avenue right there, that blows my mind.
Hey, but that's sales and marketing.
Yeah.
There's 2 things, you know. You go to a market that requires you to sell yourself and you market yourself well, you're going to be big. You got to do it consistently. So yeah, those 3 things really tie into everything. And owning a business is the same way. Yeah. So, because in your world, you got to sell. You got to be really good at selling. You got to be really good at marketing, and you got to be really good at operations, which is the install of the garage doors. Yeah. Because if you're not good at that, it's game over.
Yeah. And I'm part of a networking group that we meet every week, and they always talk about, they have us go up and say what our favorite, attribute is or whatever, like accountability or relationships or whatever. Yeah. And my thought always goes to accountability, because like when you say relationships is most important, how do you build that relationship without the accountability of getting there or getting out or meeting that person or whatever? So yeah, accountability, you know, I guess it kind of goes with being confident, whatnot, like waking up, keeping yourself accountable, having the confidence to get out. I don't know.
Yeah, no, dude, I think that's good. Yeah. Because you also got to be accountable to your clients. You got to be accountable to yourself. Like you were saying, like it goes hand in hand with everything. Yeah. So
a quote that haunts me is my grandfather told me one time. He's like, if you're not
Son, 15, always use Ryobi.
Huh? Oh, no. Ryobi. Yeah. He was always buying batteries. But no, he said, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're 30 minutes late. And it just haunts me. I know business owners is like, show up on time. Yeah. You don't need to be early, but I'm always early, man.
Yeah, that's good, dude. It's I can't stand being late, so
it drives me nuts. Like, I love my wife, but if she's still putting makeup on 5 minutes after we're supposed to already be there, I'm like, let's wrap this up. Come on now.
Like you're driving separate.
Yeah, let's go.
So going back to the 6 figures, because your goal is to expand, hire out. Like when you pay your tech 6 figures one day, like what qualities does that guy or that girl have to have for you to be like, I'm going to stroke a check every year for $100,000. Yeah. This is what I need you to do for me. What would that be? He's
got to be over 6 foot and he's got to have a beard.
He's got to be a Sasquatch.
Yeah. He's got to be a big guy. No, I'm just kidding. Confidence again. You got to have confidence, you know, coming in. I don't want you to see, if we're doing an interview, I don't want to see you, you know, shaking out of your boots or whatever. I want you to be confident. Like, I'm going to be able to do this job. Yep. And I'm going to be able to do it well. You know, sales background, like you said, that'd probably be important, but not the most important, because I do believe that I've got enough leadership and the right people around that if you don't know how to sell, I can teach you. Like, just stick around, do the work, and get there, and we can get you to that point. But you got to have the confidence to believe that you will get there someday, and you know, believe in us. But shoot, beyond confidence, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, I would say you just need to be a good person, but I don't know how to tell if they're a good person based on one interview. But I guess also I would look at like their job history too. Like if you've jumped around to a lot of jobs, I'm probably not going to hire you. You know, if I saw you were loyal to some business for 10 years and you just got out of there because you wanted to better your life for your wife or something. Yeah, we'd be talking, but you got to be loyal. Because I'm gonna, whoever I hire, I'm gonna be investing into you. Like, I want to figure out how to pay you properly and make it worth it for you.
Right. That's good. Would you have more like 100K positions out of the box, or would you rather like scale it?
Definitely would have to scale them up for sure. You can definitely get to that point, especially in this business. Like, it's crazy the amount of money that you can make in home service, blue collar work. So they would definitely build up there, but also want to be one of those companies where if I believe in you, you're going to jump up quick.
Yeah.
Again, just making it worth it for them. And you're doing the work, you're showing up. That's big nowadays.
Yeah. So the sales background, I mean, you pose a interesting question, which is you don't really think it's that valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Like, what exactly you're talking about? Like the sales?
Like why wouldn't you want one of your employees that makes 6 figures to have much of a sales background?
I mean, obviously it'd be preferred.
Yeah.
But I was just saying, like, if you don't, I'm confident enough now that, hey, if I've seen you've been loyal with somebody and you've got confidence, and I believe that you can go out and make a sale, you can meet with these people and listen to them and see what they need and problem solve. If you're a problem solver, I believe that we can build, your sales background. Anybody can be taught how to sell something. It just depends on their niche, like what they like. Figuring out what they're confident in talking about and just going from there.
Yeah. It's like hiring without experience versus experience.
Yeah, of course.
Like you would almost take the gamble on someone that doesn't have experience, knowing that you could train them if they have the malleable personality.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially in, the line of work I'm in where you're meeting the people and you have to have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
I would love to have that younger, confident, energetic guy.
Yeah.
Than, 50, 60-year-old who's been working for 40 years, doing a job he probably hasn't enjoyed.
Yeah.
Just having that face show up to the job.
Yeah.
I think that's huge.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's good. And you talk about leadership, your networking clinic that you go to every week and whatnot. Like, so leadership is a huge, huge focal point of our pod and what we talk about all the time. So like, what does leadership mean to you, as well as like, what does it mean in entrepreneurship?
Showing up from the front, like not being able to, or being able to do the work and show them like, hey, you don't believe that you can do this? Let me show you. Like just going out and just showing them how to get the job done. Yeah. I mean, just make it happen. Be a problem solver.
Nice. That's good. How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
I saw you ask Boaz this. Actually, every day since I watched that. But no, I don't think about that. I think about Lord of the Rings a lot. Medieval times.
Ooh.
But not so much Roman.
Yeah, dude, I love medieval times. I'm reading a book right now. It's nonfiction. Nice. It's called totally forgot what it's called. Or it's like a trilogy. It's like The Sword, The Gift, and then like The Kingdom or something like that. It's Brian something, whatever his name is. Yeah. Dude, it's such a good book.
I'm so mad right now though. Have you ever seen The Witcher on Netflix?
Oh yeah, I just saw that it became Thor.
Yeah, so it was
Chris Hemsworth.
It was Henry Cavill, who has read the books, memorized the books. He's played the games, like the perfect role.
Oh yeah.
And then they got rid of him because he was too serious. He was like, no, I want Geralt to have these traits and everything. So they got rid of him.
Goofier or something.
No, that he wanted him to be by the book, which I love. But then they got
no. I'm saying it's like they didn't like Henry because he was too by the book.
Yeah, like he loves the Witcher books and the games.
Yeah,
and everything.
Dude, he's like co-starring Warhammer.
Yeah, so I'm like debating right now on watching the new season that came out.
Nah, dude,
man,
not about to do it.
Just not gonna be the same.
Yeah, especially with Chris Hemsworth. Dude, that guy's a goofy guy.
Yeah, Chris or what's his brother's name? Noah or not?
Brad something. I want to say. I don't know. Anyways, that's the book, by the way, right there.
Oh, what was it?
It's by Brian Litfin. So it's a medieval book, post-apocalyptic, and it's pretty dope. But like basically, society like regresses and goes back to like medieval times and stuff, and they're like living amongst like the ruins of the nuclear war that had happened. So
crazy,
it's pretty sick. Yeah, I love medieval stuff. So huge Game of Thrones fans, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean,
whoa.
We waited
what was that all about?
We waited till all 8 seasons were out and just binge watched it. We watched it over like 2 months or whatever.
Yeah.
It was good, but for me, it was just hard to follow who was who.
What?
Yeah. I don't know why. It just was.
Bro, you're not taking enough Tylenol? What's going on?
I need to watch it again for sure.
Dude, you got to watch it 8 more times.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the greatest show that's ever been made.
It was pretty awesome.
Like, was it the ending? Was it like you said, there was a lot going on, but like, what was it? Why did you not like it?
I think I didn't like it because I want more. It was definitely good, but no, like I said, just trying to follow who was who was a struggle for me, and I don't know.
Bro, I could break that shit down for you right here, right now, dude.
We don't have enough time.
Dude, no, I literally busted out a whiteboard with my wife because I got her into it.
Yeah.
I had to like draw out the family tree and like talk about the Starks and the Lannisters and the lineage of it because, dude, I get down with the lore, bro. Actually, I want to read the books, but I also don't want to be massively disappointed.
Yeah.
Because they're never the same.
Probably so much more in the books.
Oh yeah, definitely more the same. And he changed things too. Like so Game of Thrones is actually the last book of the series. I don't know if you knew that. And because there's 7 more books or 6 more books before that, and he changed the last ending of it. Like the ending of it, everyone hated it, and like there was this huge petition to change it and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it was because A, he changed it from the book, and B, he like just freeballed it and just made it whatever he wanted to. So that's why everyone hated it.
So you're reading that right now. Are you reading any like business books right now? Anything that you would suggest?
Yeah. So actually, you should read this. You know who Alex Hormozy is?
I've heard the name.
Yeah, dude, you should look up $100 Million Offer. He actually just came up with the newest book. But this one would actually blow your mind when it comes to getting Squatch off the, like just blowing it up. Because basically the premise of the book is that, like what you're saying, like going out and asking for money, you have no problem with it. But can you go out and ask for 3 times market value?
That is the struggle. Yeah, for sure.
And he crushes when it comes to the just the overall mindset around it. Because competitively speaking, you're probably better than A1 garages. You know, you're probably better than your next closest competitor. Why? Because it's you, and you're going to do 10 times the work. You're going to do 10 times the value. You're going to do like, you're probably the guy I could just picture right now that probably wipes the dust off of those screens, you know, like just the smallest little thing that doesn't matter to 99% of people that would be in that position, but it does to you.
OCD.
Yeah. Like, but it matters to you, you know, like, and that right there is why you should charge 3 times more.
Yeah.
Because that experience will blow that person's mind so over the top that they're going to be forced to refer you to everyone else. And that's most businesses' problems is they're just too afraid to ask for money.
Yeah. And that definitely one of my struggles. When I first started, I was like, man, why is A1 Garage charging so much? But then you learn listening to Tommy Mello, go through his book and everything. Like he showed the value and everybody understands the value.
Yep.
And he problem solved, like I keep saying. Like he showed that, hey, if you call us, we're going to be calling you, or we're going to have a tech talking to you within 15 minutes. They're going to be out there. Like we have the ability to get people out there as quickly as possible. So he exemplifies all that value and people are willing to pay whatever it is for that kind of customers.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. And it's also like you said too, it's like if you give them the right options with financing or whatever, it's like, they're like, hey, why do you charge 3 times than the guy next door? It's like, well, first off, I'll be at your house tomorrow or today. Second off, I don't know that guy next door. I don't think you do either. But check out all of the people that do know me. And see what they have to say about Squatch.
Or it's amazing, like how many garage repair guys won't do emergency services. Like my car's stuck. I need you to get out here now, and they won't do it.
Really?
Like, you're losing so many clients.
That's crazy. So no, that's a good book. $100 Million Leads too. It's not a bad one either.
Same author.
Yeah, same author, Alex Hormozy. It's a little bit different of an appeal for the service-based business because like you're not really like generating leads the same way, you know, you would normally. There's obviously a lot that you can do with marketing to create that lead magnet that would create more and more things for you. Like for instance, like you said, emergency stuff. It's like when people are looking for a garage door repairman, like that is a lead magnet directly right there. And your lead magnet is simply just having your face out there where it says, hey, I do emergency things. Like that exact clip that you just had. If you take that and you post that and say, I'm the guy that will show up in 20 minutes to your emergency, that's a lead magnet.
It's huge.
Yeah. And you have that and it's easily accessible and people can Google Squatch or garage door repair and yours is the first one that pops up because you've created your configuration of your SEO. Done.
And that's another driving factor to scale because I don't want to do those jobs. But for now, I got to.
Yeah, no, absolutely, dude. Nobody wants to do that. So, and then there's only really 3 ways you can do it. You can either hire an agency that will do it for you. That's probably like the most recommended offer or option for like if you're in the SMB market, small to medium sized business. You can either pull up your bootstraps and figure it out yourself, which you've explained is not fun.
Yeah.
And you spend hours and hours and hours of doing things that you don't know, that you'll have to do once, that is not repeatable, nor does it create a whole lot of impact. Or you could do the third thing, which is the least recommended option, which is you hire a marketer that you will personally have work for your company, that you have to pay 50 to 100 grand a year to go out and figure all this stuff on their own, or they already knew it prior and it's really expensive.
Yeah.
So that first option is pretty recommended for a small business, because it's like, if you just rely on the tech nerds that already know how to do this in the first place and done this thousands of times, they'll just get it done right the first time, versus, the second option, which is you might get it done, but is it right?
Yeah.
Like imagine installing a garage door for the first time. You have no idea what you're doing. It's like that thing, those screens come undone.
Yeah. They sound like a gun going on.
Yeah. You're going to shoot somebody, like it's going to be bad. So yeah, no, it's, those books are really, really solid. And I mean, it's obviously Alex Hormozi, if you know a lot about him, so it's like a lot of what he does is giving away stuff for free.
Yeah.
And everything he gives away for free is because he wants the cream to rise to the top. And then those are the people that he buys their businesses.
Yeah.
He owns acquisition.com. It's a brilliant business model. So, and that's another thing too, as well, that you could implement that would be massive is free offers. Free consultatives, free quotes, whatever it is that you can do, walkthroughs, free walkthroughs, like anything that you give away completely for free that you would normally charge for is the main premise of that book, which is that you need to give away something, because then those people are going to most likely buy from you, because any other quotes or any type of consultative talks they're going to have with their competitors is not going to be that experience. So, but if you give it away for them for free, they're like, oh my God, like this guy gave me this for free. Like, and normally you charge how much for this? I'll charge hundreds of dollars for this. I'm going to spend an hour with you in your garage staring at your screens and garage door. Like I could be out there making money, but I'm going to do it for free for you. That experience blows those people's minds, and they'll call you back more than anyone.
Yeah, that's super important. I've been integrating that a little bit. I'll have somebody say, hey, I think my motor went out, and it is the motor. So anytime that the motor goes out, I'll be like, hey, I'm going to do a lube and tune after this for free. It takes me 5 minutes. Yeah. And it doesn't cost me much product and whatnot. So I'll tighten everything up, the belts or the chains and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, normally that'd be like $149 job just to do a lube and tune, but throwing that in just to do exactly what you were saying. Build that rapport.
Yeah, it's huge, dude. It's huge. So last question. If you were to start any other business, it can't be garage doors, all your research, all the things you already know, experience you have, what would it be?
Honestly, there's so many things that I would do. And the reason being is because I think everybody should start something, I don't care what it is, and fail at it. Because you're not going to grow, you're not going to be better unless you fail. You had somebody on the podcast a little while back talking about that. Failure is so important. So honestly, I can name so many things on what I think you could make money at.
Yeah.
And all of them are blue collar. It's just how much time do you want to put into it, and how willing are you to fail? Not even necessarily on the financial side, but like with yourself personally. Like you go out there, you don't know how to do the job. How are you going to fix it?
Yeah.
And you won't get that experience unless you fail at it. So
that's solid. What would it be?
But certain parts of real estate are right now, I think, top tier. For example, in Arizona, I don't know if you've got the sales background. I don't know if there's anything better than wholesaling, to be completely honest. Because again, you're problem solving for somebody. You've got these properties that are in distress that you have either other investors or yourself that can, go in and purchase it after you get it under contract or whatever, and assign it, and they can fix it up and make an income. I think that'd be a really good one. Or, house painting. I mean, like cabinets. I've ran into a lot of people that are painters, and it's like, well, what's your favorite part of painting? Like, I can make so much money painting cabinets. Because it's just one of those like things you don't think about, but they get scratched up and they get grease on them and whatnot. People just don't want to deal with them. All the small hinges and everything. I mean, there's a whole list, man. As long as it's blue collar, there's money to be made.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. People don't want to be doing it, like you said.
So. Yeah.